waste electrical and electronic equipment is a health and environmental risk. The Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, is currently conducting a national inventory and a situational analysis of the electrical and electronic waste, which is popularly known as e-waste, to establish the actual volumes of e-waste in Ghana. The result of this inventory will inform policy decisions, business promotion, and also inform appropriate treatment options within the e-waste value chain. For this reason, enumerators have been sent out to the field to take inventory of both functioning and non-functioning electronic and electric equipment in all of our households, private and public institutions. This exercise will take place from Monday, the 2nd of October. It's already started, and today is the last day, Wednesday, 11th October, in the Greater Accra region, in the Bunu East, Ahafo, Ashanti, Eastern, Central, and Western, and then Western North and Volta regions. The enumerators will wear reflective vests and also possess a photo ID for identification. So we kindly urge all of us, the general public, to support and cooperate with the enumerators for a very successful exercise. So when they come over to your home or your place of business, please bear with them. Also, if you want to win big, who no like chalk money? Win big every day with DEWA 539 Direct, the best lotto game in Ghana currently. Double your chances of winning every day by playing DEWA Chalk Money to win from 10 a.m. every morning and 7 p.m. every evening. You can also play our Sunday special exclusively on Sundays and win big at 6 p.m. All you have to do is dial *446#. All right, *446# and select option 2 to play DEWA Chop Money, or option 1 to play for the evening draw. It's very easy to win. So pick a number, any number from 1 to 39. Then you win 20 times with Direct 40, or 40 times with Direct 2, and 400 times with Direct 3, and 5,000 times with Direct 4, and 50,000 times with Direct 5. All you have to do is dial *446# now. If you need more information, please call us on 055-625-924. That's how to reach us. DEWA Afa. So play and win. And also live on New Day today, if you want to win some really quick cash, you can dial *439# and you can win in our cash out segment. This week, we've given away 2,000 CDs every day. Today, I will let you know exactly how much we're going to be giving away, all right? Now, for our big issue segment, if you've been paying attention to the news, a lot has happened between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Abnah-Dapaah. So the Office of the Special Prosecutor has now charged the former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapaah with the offense of failing to comply with a lawful demand. And that's the latest we've had. Documents filed in court alleges that Cecilia Dapaah failed to fill and submit an income declaration form handed to her by investigators. Now, the OSP over the last 2 months has been investigating the former minister for possible ownership of tainted property, which investigators say cannot be attributed to her known income. We know that some $590,000 and 2.8 million cedis were found at her residence, and these amounts have been seized. Now, I'd like us to take a look at details of the latest action by the OSP.
So the latest is that Madam Dapaah has, through her lawyers, filed some processes at the High Court challenging the conduct of the Office of Special Prosecutor in relation to her. And so she makes the point, first and foremost, that as far as she's concerned, she believes that the OSP's decision to re-seize her money and also proceed to freeze her account once again were unlawful. And the context to this, like you recall, some weeks back, the High Court did give an order for the Office of Special Prosecutor to release $590,000 as well as 2.8 million cedis that they had seized during a search of her residence. Now, you recall that when she went over to the Office of Special Prosecutor, the money was given to her. When she got to the car park, she was asked to come back to the office, at which point the money was seized again. And the interesting thing is that we know that the case is coming up in court tomorrow. This is a fresh action entirely, in which she's saying that that conduct of the OSP is arbitrary, is unlawful, and is contrary to the power that is granted the Office of Special Prosecutor. So as a result of that, she's asking the court to order the Office of Special Prosecutor to release the money that was seized and also to unfreeze her bank account. she's also interestingly asking for an order prohibiting the special prosecutor from continuing the investigations of herself. And so she doesn't want to be investigated by special prosecutor anymore and asking for any other order that the court may deem fit. And the interesting thing about all of this is it's coming at a time when the OSP just what the news we gave our viewers already is the fact that he has decided to file charges against her in relation to a failure to complete an income declaration form.
And so a lot has been happening. There's a charge against her. She's filed an injunction to prohibit him from further investigating her. We're going to be discussing all of that and more. You can reach us via Twitter handles with the hashtag TV3NewDay. Would love to hear from you. I'm joined in the studios now by our guest, Kofi Adams, Member of Parliament for Buim constituency. He's here with us, came very early. And also Kingsley Amapa Boydu, Member, NPP Communications Team, and also private legal practitioner. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Very well.
Now, I'm sure you've been following this matter very closely. First of all, Kofi Adams, what do you make of this back and forth between the Special Prosecutor and Cecilia Dapaah?
Well, good morning to your viewers. The back and forth is... you should expect her to put up a fight, as inconsistent as the fight may be, with the stories changing right from the word go till now. You expect her to try to fight back. And I do know that the special prosecutor, the Kisia Jabin that I know, would also want to fight to prove that he doesn't just get out there to do things that must not be done. And so let's wait and watch what happens. I only pray that our courts would be the courts that we have known then when it comes to matters such as this, and that they will not be coerced either by the prosecution or the defense side to fall on their side, and that they will act and act justly. I'm surprised that Cecilia Dapaah or her lawyers would get out there suggesting that the re-seizure of her money and the application for her bank account to be frozen, or the OSP freezing her account, was illegal. I don't see it that way. Because clearly, what went to court, it wasn't like the whole matter went through trial and it concluded. The court only said, the OSP's office, when you seize cash, you have within a certain period to apply for confirmation of those seizures. And that, according to them, considering the date, the first date of seizure, and the date the OSP went to court, he did so outside the legal stated period. And so the court had ordered that you should give back and you have to then do the right thing. So what he did is to obey the court's order.
And do the right thing.
And do the right thing. So now I reseize and I apply within the time. It's not like the whole thing went through a trial process and was concluded and you are retrying the person. So I'm so surprised that they will go on such a tangent. I sit here, I'm not a lawyer, but I clearly will understand that this is what it is that the OSP's office is doing. And so, I don't, maybe my colleague here who is a lawyer will help. He may know more. He's an insider person, so he may know.
He's an insider person like how? He works at the office of the OSP.
Not necessarily OSP,
okay.
But he relates more with government persons, and possibly maybe he will have more access to Cecilia Dapaah and possibly her lawyers than I will do on any day. On any day, the person involved would prefer speaking to someone who speaks for government that she belongs in a party she belongs than me on any day. On any day. So it is on that point that I feel he may understand what exactly is in their minds, what is the strategy that they are involved in.
They are concerned that the special prosecutor is a little, to use this word very carefully, obsessed with the matter, you know, because in the exercise of discretionary power, I think the Constitution states clearly that you must not act in a way that appears biased because of personal dislike or, you know, prejudice or act outside the scope.
I will not even let you so far, I have not seen any indication that there's so much special interest in this matter. I have not seen any bias in this matter. Mm-hmm. I have so far not seen that at all, because what is the office set out to do? We set that office up to help fight corruption, especially involving high officers, because the thinking was that the Attorney General also doubles as Minister of Justice. And so he sits in cabinet, sometimes advise these ministers, advise the president, and so there's that friendship and some commonality, some relationship with colleague appointees.
Okay.
And that when they find themselves in situations such as we have that of Cecilia Abena-Dapaah, the Attorney General may not be particularly interested and could be biased. And so let's get an office. There were some who even thought that let's decouple the Attorney General's position from the Minister of Justice so that he could be independent fully and be able to do. We haven't done that. So this OSP thing came up. And we had the first one who raised concerns. He left finally. Now we've had the second one who equally is raising concerns but doing the bit that he can also do.
Okay.
And clearly nobody can point to the fact that Kisi Ajabin, the special prosecutor, has done anything outside of the law. Even the first one where the court threw them out.
Yeah.
Their argument was that we were doing series of what? Investigations and seizures involving the same person. Mm-hmm. So our thinking was, we wait till we have finished everything, because it wasn't just one spot that was searched. Mm-hmm. The seizure was not done from one point. So we were waiting to finish, and from the last date of that engagement, that is the date we were calculating from, not the first day of what? Seizure. Even that one. But they did not choose to go on an appeal. They decided that, well, the court have spoken, we will obey the court and start the process again. Where is the bias in this?
All right.
Where is special interest
Let me talk to our lawyer. All right. So you're a lawyer. It would appear that Cecilia Dapaah is trying to seek refuge in the courts through the legal system. Can a court, or will a court, prevent or prohibit a law enforcement agency or authority, in this case the OSP, from doing its mandate?
Thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers and potentially your listeners as well. Yes, of course, and good morning to my brother here. A court can do that. In fact, a court has prohibited another court from sitting on matters if they think the judge, there are grounds for bringing prohibition applications, and it may be granted, depending on whatever. Maybe they've not done the proper thing, or the person has descended into the matter. When you say descending into the matter, then you have become emotional about it, because the judge has to be dispassionate about it. So there are grounds for that. So even if a court can be prohibited, how much more an official? In this instance, I don't see where the OSP has gone. Of course, I'm not seized with all the facts. The lawyers will be seized with all the facts. I don't see how that has happened. He's doing his job. But as a legal practitioner, as a private legal practitioner, it's a cab rank rule. I meet my client. I fight my client's cause to the best of my capabilities. I have to stay within the boundaries of logic, and the law, but fight my client's case to the best of my capabilities. And so and that's a very reputable law firm. And so if you feel that is the channel they must go on, I want to see what they filed, what the grounds are. But of course, you know that when a matter is even before court, we cannot, be prejudicial about it. Again, the last...
Let me just let you know some of the things contained in the injunction. All right, so she is seeking a declaration that the OSP's re-seizure of money and freezing of her account is unfair, is unreasonable, is capricious, is arbitrary, and ultra-vires to the OSP's statutory powers under Act 959, and also constitutional provisions, Article 23 and 296. Which says that, you cannot act, an authority cannot act in a biased manner because of personal dislike towards a person and so on. So that's what they're asking for. They're also asking for an order prohibiting the OSP from continuing the investigation of Madam Cecilia Dapaah and her husband for corruption and corruption-related offenses. And that's what I find very interesting. You're saying that the court can grant such a prohibition to prevent him from investigating her.
If the grounds are made,
okay.
I'm treading cautiously so that I do not prejudge the matter. As a legal practitioner, I know better. I'm not supposed to do that. If the grounds are made, and I'm saying that there are instances where the grounds are made, I do not see where the OSP in this instance. Let's look at, you've rightly quoted, so 23, for instance, it says administrative bodies and administrative officials shall act fairly. So has he acted fairly? And reasonably, has he acted reasonably? I think he has a job to perform, which is corruption and corruption-related offenses. So if he's investigating such and he's come across something and he thinks it must be seized, he's doing his job. All right. The aspect where it says that, are you saying that he's becoming personal about it? I don't have any facts to suggest that. Of course, you see, this is a very emotive topic. Everyone is watching. And so there's this Herculean pressure on Kissi to perform.
Okay.
And knowing Kissi very well, he's a performer.
Okay.
He has to do his job.
Okay.
Whether he's crossed the line, as I said, I want to see the actual application before the court, what it entails.
For the injunction?
Yes.
So I read aspects of the injunction
just read
application
aspects
to you.
of it. You know, when you read, there's a motion, there's an affidavit.
Okay.
Then there are annexures. That would be the proof.
Those are the things that help you better understand.
Exactly.
But from the face of it,
even if I've had that, I will stop short in saying it will go through, it will be granted or not, because then that's prejudging the matter.
What are the possible grounds that would allow this application to go through?
Yeah, you're really pushing their lines. You see, if Kissi has in any way shown that I will make sure this person goes into prison, and then apart from doing his work, it's now a personal matter. Like
malicious prosecution.
Then yes, then he has an axe to grind against such a person, and everything shows that. As I said, at this moment, I don't see that. You see, we can give generic explanations around that, but it boils down to the fact that he has to act fairly and reasonably. And then the 296 says if he's given some decisions that borders on, discretion, there must be a grounds for exercising such a discretion, because even if the court exercises discretion, the court exercises it in a manner of some laid down proceedings.
Okay.
Procedure. All right. And so there must be that for us, all of us to know, then you go by that. So it shouldn't be that when I read you today, or that's what we're looking at. And that's the wildest by the example. So he has to do his job. It's just like saying you bring an application to court for the police to stop prosecuting a matter, be mandated by an act to perform that. You have to go beyond the norm and show that there is some personal matter, some personal act to be grinded by this particular person in doing the act.
Sympathizers of Cecilia Dapaah seem to think that it looks like from the actions of the special prosecutor, it is becoming a personal matter. And among other things, it might be because of the many different narratives that have come out about the source of the money. Today is for my dead brother, tomorrow this person, my mother, another dead person, you know, different companies incorporated under names at different dates and so on. All of these things have made the entire matter look a little murky. And so the special prosecutor constantly coming back, you know, to basically do his job, as you have said. Makes it look, you know, like, you know, he is out to get Cecilia Dapaah.
I think, in part, it is because of the narrative that we have generated.
Who's we?
The general public.
Okay.
Have generated over this. And let's not play the ostrich here. It has a bad reflection on my party. All right? And if I were in the opposition, I would put enough oxygen in this so that it spills over.
Do you think that's what's happening?
It has happened.
So we've blown it out of proportion?
Not out of proportion, but we're not seized with all the facts. In fact, I've gone to certain media houses and said that no one uses counterfeit money to go and buy marijuana and go and stand behind the inspector's house to smoke it. And so there's definitely, she may be able to prove her source. And then the OSP went there. And I'm thinking, okay, it's been a year after the event when the mother was reported in a police station. How could he possibly find money there? Then he found the money. You see, so now it's about we having distancing ourselves from it politically and seeing the facts, and then the chips will fall where they fall. That is what it is. But when we overly politicize it, then it becomes murky.
I actually feel like this is one of the matters that has not been politicized.
Oh, initially
because
initially it was.
Well, initially it was a shock, and it was a question of a state,
and so,
but not political.
But I'm saying that initially the way it started, it was like if we can find it, exactly, if we can find it, and then she must be sacked, and then she herself resigned. Then even the note the president gave, the comment he said, "I have confidence that you'll be exonerated."
Yeah.
That became so. Now we are now.
How do you feel about that note, though?
Oh, but we've gone past that.
Didn't you feel sad that the president
because you said it was political in the beginning, you know, notes like that also kind of fanned the fire to make it look like, okay.
Now the matters are settled. Now let's look at the facts. Let's look at the law. And I have confidence in the OSP. I know him personally. I've worked with him before.
Okay.
I have confidence in him. I also have confidence in the law firm that is representing Madam Cecilia Dapaah.
Okay.
The managing partner, I've seen her in action in court.
Okay.
She's a very senior lawyer. And all of them are good. I suppose they all do their best. And then the law will prevail. And I don't even have any qualms or fears about the judge who sits on this matter.
Okay.
Because the judges are there, they are good, they do their job. There's nothing like some coercion that's supposed to come. No. Matters are brought to court. Even there are times where the charge sheets are not signed. All right? The prosecution is made to correct that.
Okay.
And so
corrections can be made along the way.
Exactly. So it said that he went beyond the 7 days, he's gone to VCs and he's bringing it to the court. Let's see how it pans out in court.
Now, let's talk about... so you want to say something?
Well, the issue of the politicization of this matter, clearly, I don't see it. We went through a situation. We had ministers of state leading a crusade that all of us, if we had any few foreign currency, make it available in the bank because the country was going through some tough times. Monies were spent to organize such press engagements, only for us later to find so much foreign currency in the home of another minister. You should have expected much more abroad than.
I'm the president.
No, let him land. But in the face of obvious...
Thank her for her service.
Yeah.
The least the president could do was to thank her for her service and to state that he never wished that her exit would have come this way.
Okay.
All the same, maybe to wish her well, but to say that you have confidence in her integrity and that she will be exonerated. That is far-fetched.
He has confidence that she will be
And I'm saying that the president had no business.
He will be exonerated.
The president had no business adding that to his acceptance statement.
So
clearly, the president had no business. If the matter was being turned political, it is the language of His Excellency the President that turned the whole thing that, oh, here we go again, another attempt to cover up.
You know, even though this letter is almost old news now.
Is that news?
The problem is that when you state that you are confident that she'll be exonerated, in the event that she's not exonerated, you know how it looks.
Not exonerated.
Kofi Adams.
I am saying that the initial part, even before this letter came, there was a call that she should be sacked and whatnot. I am saying that initially it assumed a political aspect of it. It became political. As to who caused it, we can debate that. We're not going to agree on that. Okay. Now, the facts are now coming out properly. I believe, as for the judge, I wouldn't say I believe, because judges are always judges. They do the right thing. Of course, if they err, we have a way of appealing and whatnot. I believe in the abilities of Kissy Ejabeng to do the proper thing. I also believe in, what's her name?
The lawyers of
yes, and
Cecilia Dapaah,
the managing partner of Samuel Kudzet's law firm, to do the right thing. Let's allow the matter to progress.
I'm glad you believe in the firm and the ability to do the right thing, because I was wondering when I saw the charge by the special prosecutor about Cecilia Dapaah refusing to, fill out the declaration form. The first question I asked myself was, how did her lawyers advise her? Do you think she's digging herself further deep into the trenches by not complying with the request for the declaration form to be filled out?
You see, as I said, when you have another law firm advising a client,
if she were your client,
I have to be seized with all the facts.
If she were your client, and an authority, the special prosecutor, acting in accordance with the law, Act 959, asking her to fill out a declaration form and declare her assets and so on, giving her a 30-day period to do so, and she does not do it. After more than 30 days, because, I think it's been over 60 days, because he filed on the 5th of October. So it's been over 60 days. She didn't do it. If you were her lawyer and you were advising her, how would you advise her?
As I said, it will be dependent on all the facts before me. I do not.
What facts?
Kofi Adams. Allow him to land and then we'll come to you. Allow him to land and then we'll come to you.
No. What facts are you looking for?
Allow him to land, Kofi Adams. Allow him to land and then we'll come to you.
I'll have my bite. I've just guided you.
Please employ him.
Let's come back to the matter. All right. Let's come back to the matter. What are the possible reasons why you would ignore an order from the special prosecutor?
I can do so. I can advise same. When I'm seized with, I don't know all the facts. If you don't know all the facts and your colleague lawyer is advising someone, even a client getting advice from a lawyer and coming to another lawyer to cross-check it, we frown upon that. So this, I don't think is a proper question, especially on air. I believe in in their work. I believe in Samuel Kujotu's law firm, all the lawyers there, the managing partner, I saw her name as the one who filed the process. She's a great lawyer.
Yeah.
Called to the bar more than 20 years. Great lawyer. She's good. She can do her job.
Okay.
I'm saying so. What pertains between a client and a lawyer in a confines of their conference room is really privileged?
Is it possible at all? Or does this happen often that a lawyer would advise their client and then they would disobey it, or a lawyer would advise their client to do something which is potentially criminal, like in this case?
You see, we take instructions from our client. We advise.
The client is the boss.
Yes,
So,
but then when it's becoming too much of you're not taking my instructions, I'll probably advise myself.
as in the lawyer.
As a lawyer, because then you've lost, because there's this fiduciary relationship, so that you accept that what I'm saying is the proper thing to do. And so if it's established that she was advised and she still failed to do same, then a lawyer, I'll be thinking probably you're not respecting and valuing my advice, and I will probably take steps to remove myself from the case. Nowadays, it's difficult to remove yourself from the case because you have to now apply to the court and explain why.
The reason I'm going on about this is because, you know, after I saw the charge sheet yesterday, I thought, okay, so Madam Cecilia Dapaah blatantly disregarded an order from the special prosecutor, an order which, by the way, is grounded in law by the Act 959. And she has lawyers who advise her. So if her lawyers advised her, and again I say if, then she has been advised to break the law, open herself up for a criminal prosecution in the middle of another investigation, or her main investigation into corruption and corruption-related activities.
Let me read just this part,
okay,
which is also culled from another news, which is getting that from the purported application I've filed.
Okay.
And this is what the accused was duly notified as per the statutory forms and by a cover letter under the seal of the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the seal and mark of the Special Prosecutor that she was required by law to make to fill this. As at the close of business on the 5th of October, the accused had willfully failed, without lawful excuse, to return the duly completed statutory forms for more than 30 days after the notice after the service of notice on her. So then it to be boiled down to whether she willfully failed and whether she has no lawful excuse. We are not seized with those facts. That's why I'm cautious, especially when you have another lawyer. You see, and the matter is before court.
So we don't know if she had a lawful excuse.
Yeah, and it's for her to, you see, when they file, when they appear in court, their lawyers will be arguing that. Whether or not
They're appearing in court today.
Today,
and again on Thursday.
On a different
On
matter.
the matter of the seizure of her property.
So let's I think it's probably early day yet. Let's see whether, you know, and you see, for my legal practice, which I've done for some considerable years now, when a matter comes up, it looks so bad. Till you sit down with your client and go through the matter again, then you see there's a lot of defenses you can put up. The person who doesn't have any legal training would say you use technicality. No, technicality is a law. There's a fact, there's substantive law and procedure. So there's a lot of arsenals at the disposal of their lawyers. So let's, as I said, willfully failed without lawful excuse. Is that what it is?
You think it might not be?
Let's leave it to the
perhaps,
lawyers.
are you, maybe you are just really sympathizing with her.
I'm not sympathizing, but I am
or you're trying to tread cautiously as a lawyer.
I'm a defense lawyer, one. I'm a law lecturer, two. Then there's a court. When the court is seized with a matter, you don't say anything which is prejudicial.
To the court,
no,
to the matter, okay.
And me as a law lecturer, I must know this.
Okay.
People I've taught who are practicing law, I must know this. Then, this matter, we have to really, I don't want to be the person who's either fanning it or defending. She's gone to, I'm a lawyer. She went to another lawyer to employ them. I'm not doing anything by defending her. So I must be fidel to the law.
Okay.
You see. And I'm saying that these are the matters that her lawyers will come and defend.
Okay.
On, if there's any.
Okay.
Right.
Very, very well. Kofi Adams.
Well,
we're going to be wrapping up this matter in about 5 minutes.
We can't wrap up so quickly when you start all the time.
I think we should switch places.
You see, I start quietly.
But go ahead.
Listen.
Yes, go ahead.
You want a job here?
I will
tell them.
Well, no problem. If I'm given a job, I'll take, because I know TV3 will defend my rights. They won't behave like some other institutions that throw persons out because they demonstrate their concerns.
Please make your point. Please make your point.
I'll be so glad to work in an institution that will protect the rights of workers and not just give them away. You see, my co-panelist here, when you asked him a straightforward question, went round it and landed at the same thing without really answering your question to my satisfaction, because he knows.
Satisfaction.
Yes,
right.
Yes. I don't want argument. To my satisfaction, because he knows the actions that have occurred is completely criminal and illegal and will be difficult to defend. But he doesn't want to say so. So he's gone round how he respects the firm and how he respects the persons involved and so on and so forth. But he knows clearly that there is an act. In that act are powers given to the officer to perform. And he's acted so.
Okay.
Provided you with a form to fill, a form you are expected to return by a stated date. You fail to return the form to the officer whom you are supposed to submit that form to. You did not provide any explanation to him or request same for extension of time. In all these instances, what reasonable explanation will that person be offering or be professing for not filling the form? I've heard some persons, and like I said, when you want to know the thinking of some persons, monitor a certain program.
Please.
They say, no, I'm not going to.
Let's not mention
They
that.
say, of course, I won't mention. But that's why I didn't mention. That's why I didn't mention the name. I know very well.
Make your point. Make your point.
I'm saying that I know very well. I would have gone straight to mention.
All right.
That person says that this person at the center of affairs was just a minister recently, and that she filled assets declaration forms. Assets declaration forms filled by appointees of certain category is different from the OSP's form that he issued to Madam Cecilia Abena-Dapaah to fill and return. Of course, the OSP will surely, along the line, go for the asset declaration form that was filled when she became a minister. They will surely want to do some comparison. And that is exactly what they are driving at. The reason for which they are asking for her to fill now the income declaration forms, which will aid them in their what? Investigations. You fail to do that. And you are running to court and indicating bias. How is bias in this matter? An officer qualified to stop you whilst you are driving stops you and demand from you maybe a driving license and maybe insurance for the vehicle you are driving. You claim you have it. You refuse to submit it. The officer now moves ahead to effect a form of arrest that he can do because you refuse to present those documentation, and you run around complaining that the officer is delaying your time. Would you be justified in this instance? You have your driving license. You have your insurance certificate. You have your everything. You are stopped. It is demanded of you. You refuse to submit same. And because of that, they have to move your vehicle to maybe a secured point where it is under their purview and their control. You now run somewhere else and be complaining that, oh, I have every document. The police is delaying my time. Are you justified? The only way you will be justified is that you have filled that form, you have submitted it, but the OSP is still pursuing you on that very same form that you have already submitted.
What do you say to people who say, am I the only one on the road who you could have stopped? Am I the only one who can be investigated for corruption and corruption-related activities?
I was coming to that.
Because since the beginning of this matter in July, All we've heard from the Office of the Special Prosecutor has been about Cecilia Dapaah.
I have listened to many persons argue that there are many other cases.
In fact, there have been calls for other people to be investigated.
I'm saying that.
But we don't see or hear that the Special Prosecutor is even interested in those other ones.
Well, he has not said he's not interested. Maybe he has not reached the point where he's supposed to reach with this one. Here we are. He submitted, he went to court late. And the court says, no, you should have come earlier. So we are throwing you out. The same person issues a form to her to fill, and they give you a period within which you must do same. You fail to do it, and we are thinking that, oh, he should just sit there and fold his arms. And what will happen? The next time you empanel us here, we'll come and say, Kisia Jabin is trying to cover up. And so he's decided to pursue a matter. I wish that he pursued this matter to its logical conclusion. The other ones, he will pick them and carry them to their logical conclusion. Indeed, there are matters that have even been concluded upon that the president is even interested in. When he went to your bar conference in Cape Coast, he was talking about things that have been concluded on. Can you believe this? But not interested in encouraging Kisia Jabin to do his work. When you listen to people who are paid with tax money, instead of them supporting another agency that we are using our money to fund, you hear them talk, and they don't even talk like a private legal practitioner. The private legal practitioner who is not paid, please.
Of rebuttal.
You said many things. You said many things.
And the speech of the president.
You said many things. I'm saying that you said many things.
Yeah, but it must be genuine.
It's in relation to the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Okay, I have a final question for both of you.
I
have a final question for both of you. Let's not talk about the bar conference. Let's not talk about the bar conference. Let's not talk about it. Mr. Kofi Adams, it's okay. It's okay.
Into the provision of
we can't all talk at the same time. We can't all talk at the same time. All right, I can't hear either of you.
You and the host are lawyers. You know that when you are a law student, you know that you go to court. Okay, you go to court. Exactly. And you know that when you are in court, two lawyers cannot be talking to the judge at the same time. What you are doing is doing what your profession doesn't allow. So allow me to finish. And she will
I thought you had just landed.
But you had landed.
I
have not landed. Why was I talking?
Okay.
I was talking, he was talking.
Let's give him 1 minute to wrap up. You have 1 minute. Please land.
So clearly,
yes,
on this Cecilia Dapaah issue, I think that even the special prosecutor is not doing much.
Really?
Yes.
He's not doing much.
I expect him to do
what
even
more is he supposed to do?
He should do even more.
Like
he should quicken. He has delayed in filing this case that he filed in court about her not respecting the office and respecting the law. So if he's done it now, he should defend it. People should stop, especially those who are paid by taxpayers' money, who walk into studios and claim they are representing government and the rest, instead of them speaking to support the OSP to function effectively, so he will save all of us. You hear them attempt to denigrate the person of the special prosecutor. That is absolutely wrong. He has not done so this morning. He's not even paid. He's not even paid by the taxpayer. He has not done so. They should watch and learn from him. They should watch and learn from him.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm saying that this matter, if you don't allow the process to go on, you may jump at one end, all right? And you realize that you talked too quickly or too early. The matter is unfolding. I gave you scenarios where it is willful without lawful excuse. It is for her to show whether she has that. We cannot sit here and say she doesn't have it. The mere fact that she has not complied with that, it makes her criminal. We know that that's not how the law works. You must, even Kisia Jabin cannot make a determination of that. He can only make a matter to his case to court. It's for the court to determine. It's for the judge to determine, to now convict or acquit. So yes, it is good that it is in the public domain. Everyone is having a go at it. But in doing so, one, let's not be prejudicial. 2, let's allow both agencies to work. I said, I have the confidence in Kwesi Agyapong. I also have confidence in, I keep on forgetting her name. From the managing partner. Managing partner. Oh, no. Please. Please, don't do that.
To make any comments.
Don't do that. Please. Don't say
right.
that. So
please make a point.
I have defended cocaine.
Make your point.
Cocaine
make your
people,
point.
Those who are charged with cocaine and all that. Doesn't mean that I have not done well because I went to defend someone. Please don't do that.
I'm not saying
Make your point.
That he hasn't done well.
Oh boy.
She's defending.
Mr. Kofi Adams.
He's putting words and meaning
but because you had interjected.
He has not. All right, this is the end of this matter. This is the end of this matter. We're going to move on to our second conversation.
Let's allow the persons.
We are going to move on to our second conversation now. We have just finished.
In Parliament as well.
We have just finished
when
this discussion.
Someone is on his feet.
Kingsley. All right, this is the end of this conversation. We will not be revisiting it this morning. Let's move on to our next conversation. We're talking about a 31-day protest, which has just been announced by civil society group Democracy Hub. They say that from the 1st of December all the way to the 31st of December, they are going to be picketing and protesting. They're calling it the second Occupy Julobi protest. Among other things, they're asking for the president to step down. They're asking for better conditions for workers and the economy at large. After this announcement, many questions and concerns have been made about the duration and the specific month of the protest, knowing that we receive a lot of visitors in the country in December. Gentlemen, you've heard about the protest. Mr. Kofi Adams.
Well, you understand.
I want to start with you.
Clearly, the protest is a right enshrined in the Constitution.
It is.
We went out in 1992, voted for this Constitution, which became the law of our country in 1993, after the swearing in of the first Parliament and the first President of the Fourth Republic. And that is what we are going to work with. In that Constitution is enshrined rights to demonstrate if you feel that either your rights or anything is being done that is untoward. And this group have that right. If they want to demonstrate for a day, they want to do it for 2 days, they want to do it for 3 days, that is their right. But do they have a case? Yes, they have.
For 31 days.
I'm saying, do they have a case to demonstrate? Yes, they have. Their intention for 31 days, that is, they think they have that capacity to do so. And they are prepared to do so. Psychologically prepared, financially prepared, physically prepared. That is what you did to be able to embark on a demonstration. If you go to the United States of America by White House, there are some persons who have been demonstrating there for years, not days.
Yes.
When I went there in 2005, I met a woman who have turned that place as a sleeping place for years.
Because she's protesting.
Because she's protesting.
Okay.
She's been protesting for years, not days. So if they say they want to do 31 days demonstration in December, that's their right. What are the issues that they are raising? They are raising issues that are germane.
Many issues, yes. So
they are
demanding for the urgent prosecution of corrupt officials, including persons in the president's family and inner circle. They are also saying that they believe in a progressive constitutional reform, which they are asking for, providing a better framework for social equity and economic justice for the people. They are also trying to encourage advocacy, really, for young people, especially in our day today, to continue to demand and ask for things that are due us as
picking
Ghanaians.
them one after the other. Take, for example, the issue of economic justice.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, another group was at the Ministry of Finance to pick it. And they indicated they will do so for 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
Why are they there? They are there because government decided to collapse some financial institutions. In this process, funds, money, was appropriated to pay those affected persons, about 8.7 billion thereabout, 3.2 of which had been paid. And the chunk of it, about 5.5, remain unpaid.
Okay.
And for all these while, nothing is being done. Government continue to communicate out there that, oh, we did financial clean up and there was a mess that we have to clean up and nobody was affected. People's savings and investments were saved. But for some of them, 5.5 billion of their investments have not been issued to them till now. Do you think such a person do not have a right to be on the street until he or she receives his or her investment? The person has a right.
Okay.
Because whilst monies have been appropriated, Parliament has made provision for that.
Okay.
Government, the executive, that is supposed to see to the processing and delivery of same to the affected persons, is failing and refusing to do. So economically, they have not been given any justice. There are, of course, others who have also lost jobs through these processes. Some started driving. The driving now, our roads are so terrible that every day they have to now buy parts, and so they have parked those vehicles also. So they cannot even continue to earn something for their families. So you have all manner of situations that people are so much complaining about.
Okay.
And you visit on them instances where we have the Bank of Ghana issue.
Yep.
That you have a governor and his team that decide to be lawless. The law that establishes the Bank of Ghana, the Bank of Ghana Act, makes it very clear as to what you can do and what you cannot do. The law allows you to print money for government, to lend money to government. But it says you cannot do more than 5% of the previous year's total revenue. And when your printing of money or lending of money to government hits the 5%, you have a duty. One, to inform Parliament and the minister. It didn't say inform the minister, so the minister will inform Parliament. It says the governor shall inform Parliament and the minister. So you are supposed to inform these two persons. If we describe Parliament as a person and the minister as a person, you have to inform these two persons. When you have informed these two persons, three persons now have a responsibility. The minister, you, the governor, and the accountant general, to now meet and set a new lending limit. And within 5 days of this meeting, the minister is supposed to inform Parliament. That is where the minister now has obligation.
Okay.
As we speak now, we have no record of the governor of Bank of Ghana notifying Parliament that I have hit the 5% and we are exceeding the 5%. We are unaware of the new ceiling that was set by these three persons. And then they think that we should just fold our arms. And you will have the majority side of Parliament, or at least its leader, come to say that if the minority side brings a motion for the invitation of the governor of Bank of Ghana for further investigation, they would not support it.
All right.
Of course, if you have made up your mind that the majority side want to support wrong, the young persons out there, or this democracy hub, has a right to demonstrate out there on such economic injustice.
Yes, they have a right to demonstrate, but this asking the Bank of Ghana to step down and even asking the president to step down, there's a laid out procedure in the Constitution, which spells out how you can, remove a president, for example. So, you must write a notice, must be signed by 1/3 of Parliament, sent to the Speaker, and so on. Why don't you and the Democracy Hub and all those who agree and believe that the Bank of Ghana governor should step down, the president should step down, consider the constitutionally provided remedy instead
is demonstration not in the Constitution?
It is.
Is it not in the Constitution?
I mean, you have the right.
So,
we have the right to
done
demonstrate.
anything wrong.
Yes, but I'm asking a question. There's a simple.
Can demonstration also yield results? Can it communicate to the person to be responsible?
But the question is,
they want to use.
Let me explain. Let me explain my question to you.
Yes.
So the governor of the Bank of Ghana has been asked to step down via a protest. Did it work? No, he's not stepping down. However, the Constitution provides a method through which you can, navigate to have him removed, which, if you would agree with me, would seem like, a more practical.
I'm happy.
A more practical approach. What do you think?
I'm sure you were aware that Parliament did something on the finance minister. He used some parliamentary processes. A committee was so put together. All the processes we went through, the report came. What happened finally? Is it still not there? Did it work? The health minister, and on Sputnik, when COVID came, and every country was speaking little that they had, our health minister was supervising a process that had been described by the Auditor General as rotten. We saw it, that COVID that was bought for less, we were paying for more. At the time, the parliamentary committee was working and all these exposures were coming out. And the minister himself appeared there and said he was not thinking right. The president was tapping his back. Till date, he's still there. I've given you 2 instances of where we have used parliamentary procedure and it had not worked. So nothing stopped us from using also a means of demonstration that is guaranteed in the Constitution.
Yes.
And I'm saying that these persons, they know all the other things. They chose to start with demonstration. And that, who knows after the 31-day demonstration, if what they want doesn't happen, what they will do.
Well, in the instance of the Bank of Ghana, for example,
I am not looking for the president.
The minority is saying that they will continue to protest until the Bank of Ghana governor. Yes.
I'm not looking for, because if the president resigns today, who takes over? The vice president. He's worse. The vice president is worse.
He's worse. I thought you said he works.
He's worse. He is worse person.
He's worse.
He is worse than the president.
Oh, I see. He's worse than the president.
Worse than the president. It will
Why
be
do you say so?
He's a disaster.
He's a disaster?
Of course. Would you be happy to have him as your president? Do you want President Akufo-Addo to resign for him to take over this country?
That is the mandate, the choice of the public.
Is that what?
We are in a democratic dispensation.
That would be a disaster. So
we can decide to let whoever we want to lead as leaders.
It is better he stays, finish his term, and we will elect a new president to come and take over. It will be a disaster to have him as our president. It will be a serious disaster. So back to the point, the demonstrators have their right to demonstrate. Even if it is 1 day, 2 days, 31 days.
But should we be concerned about the effectiveness of Parliament? Because you mentioned the fact that we have gone through the approved parliamentary procedure to have certain people removed.
You should be
and
asking,
we have not been able to do that.
Sometimes when we question the whole Parliament, we should call out those who frustrate parliamentary processes. Why? We were in this country when it served them the most. When they went to their constituencies and returned and they were feeling so hot, I think it was October 25th, 2022. They first organized a press conference and called themselves the Brave 85. Then later on, it metamorphosized into, they say now all the majority side wanted the finance minister out. And they were given, later they were called and given some assurances. You want him out. We provided you a constitutional legal way of getting him out. When it got to the time to take the vote, they walked out. If they had stayed and even voted against, what would have happened is that Parliament would have had the appropriate numbers. What happened was, based on the Supreme Court ruling, you need majority of the numbers to take a decision. You need more than 137. We needed at least 138 to take a vote. So if they walked out, we are left with 137. And that 137, even though we all voted for the removal, the censorship of the finance minister, we didn't meet the constitutional threshold because the majority side decided to do what it is that they did. So if you are saying Parliament, be specific. Say the majority side. Let their constituents
Parliament
know.
is one house.
I'm saying that let their
Parliament is one house.
Let their constituents
so you are part of Parliament. It's all of you as one.
Let's call out the bad ones who are creating the problem.
You are one house, and we consider you together as one. Let me talk to Kingsley now. Kingsley,
they are here to have their primaries. Let them know that this is what they are doing.
It's okay. Kingsley.
Yes.
You see, you're struggling. You're going all over the... We're saying, is this demonstration for 31 days? That's what we're talking about. Now, you're going to touch on when Parliament went to the Bank of Ghana.
Carry on. Is it right? Is it
now, you're also taking us back. You're also taking us back. So let's address the matter. Kofi, you cannot speak.
He invited me.
No, you're done. I don't want to hear from you again. All right, Kingsley. Let's talk about the matter.
She's getting you. You protect my right.
You harass your speaker. You are bringing it here. Please,
you are
this is
still
not
talking.
Parliament, please.
All right, so there's a protest for 31 days.
Yes.
Yes. What's your take on that?
You see, it is everyone's inalienable right to demonstrate, to protest, okay? And so that is guaranteed. And in fact, including my president, he did the Kumi Prako and all that, you see? And so it is incumbent on anyone to protest. I haven't seen a protest that lasts for 31 days in Ghana before. I am thinking it will stretch the resources of the police to a certain limit because they have to...
They've been given 3 months' notice.
I know, but still, it doesn't mean that they can recruit more police officers or remove police officers who are stationed elsewhere to come. So if it was 1 to 3 days, probably they can organize. But for 31 days, I am thinking it will stretch them to a certain limit, especially during the festivities where the police are, there's this visibility thing they do. There's a lot of disruption that's going to happen. It is still their right to do so. The way I see it, in fact, when you asked my brother, when he went around about this recounting this has happened and that has happened, I see it rather as a galvanizing of a base, of a political base, rather than making a statement. Because if they wanted to, just like the question you asked him, if they wanted to remove the governor, they are laid down procedures. Rather, they chose to go to the street. Okay? And so doing this is galvanizing the base for next year, which is an election year.
So you think this is all political?
It's definitely political.
The fact that it's not a political group.
You are not worried
Mr.
about
Kofi Adams, why are you still talking? You are done. When you were talking, he was very quiet. So please, he was quiet. He was quiet. So please, according to the
stand that he's taking, add that to my time.
Let's go.
You see, so for us, as the party in government, we have a lot of things to do. A lot. Okay? For the first 4 years, we won an election. It means that we were not that bad. Okay? We won an election by 500,000. You went to court. You couldn't even prove the reason why you went to court. You had no. You shouldn't invite an argument. Just address the matter. Yes.
You will
get Mr. Kofi Adams. Mr. Kofi Adams.
No. He's talking about the court that we went, claiming that we didn't know why we went there.
For 2024 elections.
Mr. Kofi Adams.
For 2024 elections.
Mr. Kofi Adams.
Evidence box.
Between now and next year by now, some of the things we have to do, because we've done a lot of things. But the economic situation is such that people are not even listening to that. They are not even seeing that. Because it is, you see, when it comes to economic issues, it is no more a particular issue. You have your own party members. Because when you go to the pump, you don't go and say, I'm MPP and therefore...
So you support the protest?
So, no, I don't support the protest. I am saying that the economic conditions, which is a global issue, but people feel it as individuals, persist. That is what we are working against. That is why it pained me personally when the fact that the second tranche of 600 million has dropped. This is what we're going to talk about that. Something happened and that is swept under the carpet. We can't even talk about that. What we need to do as a party is, in the face of all these, we need to ensure that the economic situation has improved. We have a year to do that. Has improved. We need to ensure that.
Are you saying you will or you need to?
We will. And before I'm saying I'm using a phrase.
What's top of your agenda?
Wait. I am saying we need to because I'm respecting the people of Ghana. Okay, I'm respecting the people of Ghana. We are trying very hard. We are doing things. Now,
what are you doing?
Between now, please. Between now and then, what we need to ensure is that, because as for demonstrations, they will come. People will get to the street. It's their right to do so.
Yes.
The police will do whatever they have to do. We are attempting to break the 8. In this mess. And to do that,
that's not
to do that.
Wait.
To do that, we need to focus. To do that,
not solving the problems.
To do that, we need to focus on making life better for Ghanaians.
And are you doing this?
Precisely.
Are you?
Yes.
What are you doing?
It is not.
How are you doing?
What are you doing? It is not something, a button that you just press.
Yes, let me just draw your attention to a few things.
It is something if you listen, that you take
it's systematic.
And
I know, but you've been in power for 7 years.
Yes.
Okay, there are things that Ghanaians have asked for consistently. For example, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital is falling apart. The La Polyclinic, the La General Hospital, was raised down with the promise that it will be raised back up in 2 years. We don't see anything. There's nothing going on there. There have been constant calls. So you see, there are very specific things. And I want to ask you this in particular. If you listen to the concerns, just a moment. Just a moment. I want to draw your attention to some specific concerns that were raised during the last protest. For example, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, which is our #1 referral hospital. I feel that,
which of the protests?
The Occupy Julobi, part 1. Right. Specific things that were spoken about. It was my expectation, and I believe the expectation of Ghanaians at large, to hear responses from the government about these specific things, concerns that were raised. The talks about dialysis at Kolebu has gone on for a while, and I'm not even going to go there. But the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, for example, I believe that if you are a government that's listening to the people and want to show us that you're listening to the people, you will address things like this, like our #1 referral hospital, which is falling apart. They celebrated 100 years, a couple of days ago, and the maternity block, you don't even have to go inside. You just stand outside and look at it, and it's an eyesore. The surgical block is broken. The ICU at the surgical department is under-resourced. People are dying every day. You are listening, government, trying to break the 8. What are you to do?
You see?
The least you can do is at least respond. Tell the people that, okay, you know what, we've heard you, and so we're going to do X, Y, and Z. But we're not hearing anything. And so, I also disagree with you when you say that protests like this are political. Because there were people on the ground who said that they support the NPP, but they are struggling, and so they are here. When you are sick, you are not allowed to speak. You are not allowed to speak. You are not allowed to speak. No, you are not allowed to speak. You are done. Mr. Kofi Adams, you are done. 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 You are not allowed to speak. No, I don't need help. I'm okay.
But don't be the host.
Kingsley.
You see, you cannot say that once there's a protest, the government should run and do something. And then
but you had 7 years.
That would be a knee-jerk
reaction.
You
didn't need a protest.
Precisely. So the fact that there's a protest, all right, and you haven't seen something physically being done at this moment in time, it does not mean.
But respond.
It doesn't mean.
Say something.
Yeah, but at the appropriate time.
Must you ignore?
No, it's not that the government has ignored it.
So what do you call it?
Listen, at the appropriate time, there will be responses at the appropriate time. Now,
when was Occupy Julobi? How many weeks ago?
No, if the government should just come and say we will do it. No, the government must take steps. It requires money.
How about we have heard you? How about we are considering
money?
How about we would like to meet with your leaders to see what we can do?
Have they not tried to meet with some leaders that the leader turned around and said that he was giving some huge money and some political appointment?
Well, we haven't proven that he lied.
We haven't also proven that it was true.
So let's not go there.
Yeah, but I'm saying that there's no knee-jerk reaction to certain things like this. It is sitting down, taking stock, making sure you are taking the right decision, the right steps. Now, you can't say that because that happened, was it 2 weeks ago?
About two.
There and then we should have people plastering Kolebu. No, it doesn't work like that.
But
So, yeah, but that's what it is. You are saying that because of that, people should be plastering.
I am saying
that if that happens,
I am saying that
we will be a government who has
the
no
government
direction
is very busy.
to someone protest.
Perhaps the government is very busy. The government is very busy with free SHS. The government is very busy with 1F. So we are drawing your attention to some of the things. We are saying
you yourself, the host. You are falling into his.
No.
Yeah,
I'm asking you a question. No.
I
would like to ask you a final question, and I'll give you time to conclude.
Let me land on this.
Okay, go.
I'm saying that a proper government, so-called clear government, proper government, you don't take knee-jerk reactions.
And you don't take no reactions too.
No, there's nothing to suggest that we will not take any action.
So we wait.
Precisely. Precisely. But you cannot say that the government, this government is not. You can do that. That is why. Let's let him those are the politics.
Let's let him conclude.
Those are the politics.
Let's let him conclude.
So between now and then, you see, we have a lot to prove to Ghanaians. We are working on that. We will prove same.
Ghanaians are living in proofs.
If Ghanaians go to the ballot box and exercise their franchise, it is their franchise they are exercising. What we have to do is to try our best possible to convince them that they should give us another term. That's what we are saying.
All right. No, we're done. We're done. We're done. We're done.
Global thing.
We're done. 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 Mr. Kofi Adams, we're done. We're done. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's oh boy.
NDC's policy for health. NDC's policy for drink.
All right. That's the end of the segment. Thank you so much. I've been talking to Mr. Kofi Adams and Kingsley Amoakwa Boydu.
Where's your policy?
We've been talking about the OSP versus Sisi Agyapong. We've also been talking about the 31-day protest. You know, I would like you gentlemen to please stop it. All right, still to come, we've got sports for you. We are also going to be talking to our contestants from Kitchen Wars. Stay tuned, you're watching TV3 New Day.
Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. Doctors, nurses, barbers, drivers, bouncers, friends, teachers, bankers, the luckiest. You could be the luckiest.
In the first 2 years, your baby will experience amazing growth in so many ways. To fuel it, they need the right nutrition. With Cerelac, 1 bowl of goodness a day provides the wholesomeness of carefully selected grains and the yummy taste baby loves. Cerelac is fortified with Iron Plus, contributing to your child's nutritional needs. Cerelac, it's all good, Mom. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you ready? The biggest bonus ever! Promotion with cool prizes and many other bonus offers. Support 24/7. 1xBet gives you more. Use promo code to get your biggest bonus.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Played responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gambling can be addictive.
So Musa Mijinaha, a Franco trading enterprise. On television, Papa, and you could one dance here. So what's the hotels, hospitals, schools, offices, apartments. Baby, 2 inches more. Television, papa. I feel
This is Hot Issues, your passport to the most compelling conversations of our time. We go one-on-one with the movers and shakers, the thought leaders, and the game changers. We ask the questions that matter, and we don't back down.
Tonight on Hot Issues, I sit with the man at the Center of Corruption Investigations.
Join me on Hot Issues here on TV3.
Hot Issues, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first